European all-world champions. Well, Lloyd Christie, number 1987, completes Christie's impressive championship record, a highlight of a career which has rarely offered an easy fight. So an intriguing contest then, sponsored by PA Stokes of Birmingham, the punching power of Christie against the ring-wise craft of McKenzie. And by the way, Clinton's youngest brother, Duke McKenzie, the world flyweight champion, is here at ringside supporting the family cause. And at ringside too, of course, our regular commentary team on Fight Night of Jim Watt and Reg Gutteridge.
Well, very much a big chance, isn't it, for the southpaw in the green trunks there, Clint McKenzie. And has been around so long, and a revenge chance for Lloyd Christie, having won a Lonsdale belt outright already, but lost in an eliminator at the Isle of Man. What was seen on ITV when McKenzie won on points, but Christie said he wasn't ready for that night, wasn't really in the shape he wanted to be. And he's coming at 9 stone 13 3/4, just a quarter of a pound inside the championship limit. Line 9'11 and a half, McKenzie. And between them, great deal of experience. 48 fights, McKenzie, 43 fights, Christie. Originally taken over McKenzie from Tony Willis, injured and flew, and then they tried to make Robert Harkin the Scot against Christie, but he was turned down by the Boxing Board of Control. But McKenzie on a winning roll now, 3 on the turn in his comeback, after losing his championship to Tony McKenzie, no relation, of course, from Leicester. So scheduled for 12 then, and the referee star grade is John Coyle from Wolverhampton. So all the instructions you might be hearing here, they're very fond of this, the big McKenzie clan out of Croydon, with the world champion, the IBF champion, is Duke McKenzie. That's, you might be able to pick his voice up there, telling him how to do it. And you've got to listen to a world champ. Even Big Brother's got to listen. One of the reasons at 33 that Clint McKenzie has lasted so well, he's always kept himself in excellent condition. And made a comeback, as they often do, for financial reasons. Had a pub that didn't go too well, and another business and a broken marriage. So this was the thing he did best. And I must say, his comeback's been very impressive. But he's got it all to do now when Lloyd Christie's in the championship fight. He's had his up and down moments, as we know. Lost to Dill Bryan in an 8-rounder, Fight Night show. A bit of a controversial win, too, over an American Tim Burgess. It's amazing with little Duke McKenzie. He's one of the quietest fellas you could imagine outside the ring, but when the brothers are in there, he really gives it some verbal stick. So Tom and Paddy Lynch with their man, they've done a good job with him since he joined their camp a few years back. He had an up and down career until then, really, 26. And as you see, he's had quite a long run and lost to the European champion there from Zaire, Calacanti. But he's had more than his share of wins. He drew with Terry Marsh at one time. It was a good result at the time. Not exactly a result in football terms if it's a draw. Denny Mancini working there with officially self-managed, actually, Clint McKenzie.
On the target, get him on the target even the early round. He won't come after you so much then.
Second round then of this 12-round scheduled championship fight. 10 rounds in September of '85 in the Isle of Man when McKenzie won. So also two famous families, aren't they, with Errol Christie And the others really have been, both schools here have been brought up in the fight game. Flattened Lee McKenzie, who's Clint's brother, Christie, but he lost to Dudley, the one that's another brother that's doing a bit of shouting, in the 75 schools final. There you are. That shows you how long these lads have been around. Crafty old campaigner, Clinton McKenzie. I remember I was among those who campaigned for him to be in the Montreal Olympics, and he certainly did well there. He fought a fellow called Ray Leonard. He didn't do so bad as a pro, did he? And one judge gave a 59-58, Ben Brill of Holland, in that one, so that's how close that one was. Classy contest, Jim, isn't it?
Yeah, two real good pros we got in here tonight. McKenzie was quite happy to allow Christie to apply all the pressure in the first round as he just circled and tried to find his range. Now he's trying to claim the centre of the ring and push Christie back, but we're seeing some good moves, some good feints. The fight hasn't really caught fire yet, but I'm sure it will quite soon. But we're seeing some real nice moves already.
Both good, crisp punches, fairly accurate. I get the impression that Christie really wants to try and stay in command and hope that stamina takes its toll on the 33-year-old who was out of the ring for some time when he lost his championship and retired in the ring against Tony McKenzie at Hemel Hempstead. He's a good puncher, Lloyd Christie, too, especially when he gets on top. Move from side to side, Clint, says brother Dudley, and he's going to need to here. The champion's had a good spell there. Oh, what a punch. The lead right-hand punch there. Referee's hand, put your hands up and save for the bell. Well, not exactly save, but certainly save. A little bit of embarrassment, perhaps, there. That was really a punch out of the blue in a way there. Christie was so confident at that point. He really ran onto this punch. Jim coming up now. There it is.
Yeah, lovely punch. He moved right onto the punch and obviously helped the power of the punch. McKenzie's not noted as a one-punch knockout specialist, but over it goes, caught him square. And over he went, but when he got up, he was perfectly clear.
Yeah. Seconds out. Round 3.
Into the third. And this classy championship fight there when the old-timer, he won't mind me calling him that because that's really what he is, the Parsons divide line of 30 at this weight. Got a slight nick on top of the head there, McKenzie, that Denny Mancini was working on. So there had to be no range finding, having fought before there, 10 rounds. And it's quite blooded. It's high up, Jim, away from danger on McKenzie's head.
Yeah, I don't think that injury will have any bearing on the outcome of the contest. But you notice McKenzie is trying to move to his right, being the southpaw. But at this moment, McKenzie's not allowed. Christie's not allowed to do that. He's stepping round, pushing McKenzie in a clockwise direction, trying to get the orthodox advantage. As I say, there's a lot of thought going on in here. They're thinking what they're doing. It's some real classy moves. It really is shaping up to be a cracker.
The light welterweight division, this 10 stone. It really is the old cut and thrust, punch for punch stuff, this. Bit of a chess match with boxing gloves and a bit of power to go with it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good match. And here comes Christie again with some of the powerful stuff.
Well, Duke McKenzie asking his brother to try and make the champion miss, but that's not easy. He's a very good defensive fighter when he needs to be, Clint. But the ratio of punches coming in from Christie, there's no way he can get out of the way of all of those. He's got a lot more fire in his belly, Christie, Jim, than we've seen in non-title fights with him.
Yeah, he's a different class fighter when there's a title at stake. He gets himself really keyed up and fired up. And I think his plan tonight is to try to keep McKenzie under pressure, try to wear down the 33-year-old legs, because he really has set the pace all the way through. That's what he's doing now, keeps working and keeps the challenger under pressure.
So John Coyle doing that. Only on Saturday he was doing a light welterweight championship of the world, which I saw in Vasto, Italy, between Juan Coggi of Argentine, who outpointed the American Harold Brazier. Actually, the Argentinians objected to the referee because he was English, using the Falklands conflict as a bit of an excuse, but at the end they were perfectly satisfied with his officiating. So there they are, working with an adrenaline pad high up there. But Tony Mancini, yet another one from a famous boxing family. Uncle Alf was a great fighter in the early days. And there's the rundown. He's won so much and been around so long, Clint McKenzie. You'd need about 2 feet of traction to get that in. Round 4. Not the slightest slackening of pace either, Jim. I know it's only the 4th round, but there's been some good punches exchanged.
Yeah, and once again we see Christie applying the pressure. That is obviously his plan there. Keep McKenzie working, force the pace, and hopefully the younger man will last the pace better.
Amazing thing with Lloyd Christie, he never boxed as a senior amateur. Errol was the star, of course, that way, whereas Clinton won everything that was going except the Olympics. Minutes gone in the 4th. Now he's doing a bit of stalking now, the challenger. You see, he's trying to get the champion to back off a bit. Well, certainly everybody here's wondering now how the tactics are going here. Duke McKenzie calling the shots for his brother as much as he can. Certainly McKenzie getting some success making Christie miss, isn't he?
Yeah, good concentration here from McKenzie. His eyes have never left Christie. He's allowing him to force the pace and pick some nice counter punches. No power as yet in McKenzie's punches, but accurate counter punches.
Hard, honest, an intriguing championship, this. And a lot of class. It's always a pleasure to see that, and not too much of the hit and hope stuff. And here's Gary Newbon then with Duke McKenzie.
What do you make of it so far then, Duke? There's a lot of pressure from the champion.
Yeah, Lloyd's very, very strong, but Clint's boxing just out of his skin at the moment. He's just doing the job. It's great.
So what advice would you give your brother if you could actually talk to him at the moment?
Just to tack up and not to take any silly chances. The guy will be dangerous until the last bell goes. You know, Clint should just stick to his boxing and then he'll probably end up stopping him.
Okay, Duke, well, stay with us. We need to take a very short break. You won't miss any of the action. Stay with us.
Seconds out. Round 5.
So back then for round 5. And Duke saying that Clinton's got to try and outbox Christie. That's not easy to do. Because he's really throwing his share of leather all the time, the champion. Not always scoring with it, it's true. But there's a lot of work rate going on. The famous word in amateur boxing these days, if you throw some form of punches, they seem to give you the decision whether they land or not. Certainly that was the way it was in the Olympics. You know, Jimmy just fancies it a little bit now, Clinton, doesn't he? He's just really getting close and stalking him.
Yeah, well, in the previous round, he was standing his ground quite a bit more. He wasn't moving back as Christie came in. Now he's actually pushing himself forward. He's landed a good right hook lead bang on chin just at the beginning of the round. As I say, he's trying to hold the centre of the ring. He was very accurate in the previous round. Now it looks as though he wants to step up the pace.
And I tell you, Jim, you know, we're talking about McKenzie, whether being the older man of the two and being out the ring for a while would last the pace well. It's whether Christie's had to drag himself a bit to get inside 10 stone. So the stamina thing really is a hit or miss, isn't it, at this stage?
Yeah, well, it's not too often we see Christie under 10 stone. And he has boxed almost as high as light middleweight before.
Yeah, he's only 15 ounces inside the 10 stone limit tonight.
I don't see any signs as yet. His punches haven't been very accurate, but he certainly looks strong enough. He's moving around well. But at this moment, the challenger is really coming right back into the fight again.
Still haven't been able to staunch the blood high up there on McKenzie's head, but a long way from danger area. Must have been a head clash. Couldn't get a punch opening or cut that high. Now it's Christie now, just cut under the right eye, Jim.
Yeah, I see a little bit of blood just coming. Doesn't look a serious cut at this stage, but I'm sure it's the last thing he needs.
So hands raised. He's satisfied with his round there, wasn't he, Clinton McKenzie? He's been around long enough to know exactly when he's doing well. And spotting blood on the other man too. There's a little bit of encouragement as Tom Lynch now has got to pressure that adrenaline, 1 in 1,000 adrenaline allowed by the Boxing Board of Control. There you see, really applying pressure there with the adrenaline coagulates.
What round is this?
Denny Mancini. He's asking what round. Well, it doesn't matter really, because he's not doing the fighting.
Seconds out. Round 7.
Round 7. So, Jim, how have you got it now? It started off really touch and go, I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, I thought Christie had a very bright start to the contest. But over the last couple of rounds, McKenzie has been, for me, the more accurate. So evenly balanced, but it's possible McKenzie, at this stage I feel McKenzie is the one who is improving. His performance was improving. Christie's doing the same things he was doing in the first round, and if this continues, I think McKenzie's going to move in front.
Press him, Lloyd, is desperate call there from Lloyd Christie's corner. But it's not easy because he's such an evasive fighter who counters. He really strikes like a cobra at times, McKenzie.
Christie has the power, and he must now, as I said earlier, he must start using that power. He must really get on top of McKenzie, not allow him to steal his title.
Takes a class fighter to nail McKenzie, Jim, doesn't it? He really is clever the way he backs off in that great fight, for instance, with Terry Marsh. Tony McKenzie caught up with him. He's looking for a little bit of a breather, I suspect, McKenzie, Jim.
Yeah, well, he has been under pressure for the greater part of the fight. Good punch from McKenzie, good right hook.
Good fast pace, this.
And Christie has brightened up his act a little bit in this round, and that's certainly what was required of him.
There really is not much in it at all now. I agree with you. It looked like McKenzie was going to get on top, but it's nothing in it, is there?
No, very evenly balanced. Christie just at the right time, just when things were maybe beginning to slip away from him, he's come right back, and this has been a very good round for Christie. Some good punches from him.
Oh, what a finish to this round now. Christie really laying in with those. And I suspect a little bit of concern with Duke McKenzie now. And let's hear from him again.
Duke, you're yelling at your brother not to fight him. You're obviously thinking he was getting it all wrong at the end of that round.
Yeah, he tried to fight him and he's coming off second best. He's just got to stick to his boxing. If he can, the guy's just trying. The guy's a puncher. You can't punch with a puncher. Clint's not a big puncher. He's just got to box the guy.
Seconds out. Round 9.
So round 9. And I could hear Danny Mancini saying to Christie, to McKenzie, sorry, we think you're one round ahead. Well, they can't peek at the referee's card, of course, but I suppose it's fair assessment, Jim. There's one round either way, I would have thought here.
Yeah, it's very, very close. No one's ever dominated any part of the fight. Christie really got on top in one round with some solid punches, but he didn't follow up in the following round. But the pace of the fight, although it's been a hot pace, it's been a steady pace, and I think that suits McKenzie more. I think Christie should be raising the pace, lowering it and raising it again to try to knock the old Wiley challenger out of his stride.
What a battle this is, and we keep saying it. I mean, this really is a good, well, connoisseurs. It's a fight traders championship, though, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a real battle. Now Christie is trying everything he can to land the solid punches, but he's not managing to land cleanly. He's hardly landed any clean punches in this round. McKenzie has always been a fighter. All the other fighters in the game have a great respect for. A real good old solid pro.
He manages to tuck his shoulder around a bit there, those right hooks from Christie. McKenzie catches a few of those, he walks away from them. You see, there it is again, the walk away, very good move, steals a rest, and just jabs out the left hand to keep the opponent occupied a bit there. But Christie trying to keep the work rate going now. The corner men are saying, come on, give him some pressure, and but he can't land them, and you can be tired that way, Jim, too, can't you, by missing with punches?
Yeah, well, Christie's only been using his power in the last half minute of a round, and it's not enough time. He should be using his power in the early stages, then if he lands some decent punches, he can take advantage. But this has been a very good round for the challenger.
Well, excitable, isn't he, Duke McKenzie? Another word from him.
So, Duke, how are you scoring this at the moment?
I make him 1 round ahead. I make him 1 round ahead. He just won that round, and there was nothing in it up until then.
Are you worried about whether he's going to maintain this lead as we're going into the closing stages?
A little bit, yeah, because he wasn't 100% fit when he took the fight, but I can't make excuses because he's in there now and he's fighting for the British title.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. We're going to take a short break. Stay with us because there's going to be a tremendous finish to what has been a really good British title.
And the 11th round then of this championship fight at light welterweight. 10 stone, spread between the lightweight and the welterweight divisions. That's what he'll try and do now, pick punches now, McKenzie, and he's done it well there. He can't dodge them all, Jim. He gets tagged with a few, but it's a smart move now. He obviously thinks he's in front and he wants to not coast home, but make sure he doesn't do anything foolish, McKenzie.
Yeah, but I don't think he has enough in the bag that he can afford to coast. And Christie is applying good pressure in the previous round, good pressure, and again in this round, really setting the pace. He obviously feels he's that bit stronger than McKenzie now. A little bit more. If Christie had a bit more accuracy, he would probably well in front at this stage because he has done a lot of work. But the challenger has always been accurate with his counter punches and very difficult to pin himself. A very good defence. So I feel like McKenzie is just slightly in front at this stage.
There's the orders, jab and move, Clinton. Don't wait, get on your bike and pick punches on the retreat like that. Remember, you can get points for defence as well as aggression in this game. Minute to go in the round. Certainly Crispy, a little bit of desperation, Jim, in his fighting.
Yeah, he is setting the pace as he has done for the last few rounds, but I think his accuracy has let him down quite a bit tonight. He's found it very difficult, a very experienced, very wily opponent. He's always been very accurate with his counter punches. Very frustrating tonight for Christie. But the work he's done in the last couple of rounds, maybe the referee sees him right back into the fight again. I feel it's a very close fight. It's not one I would like to bet a lot of money on.
Real old campaigners round that from McKenzie. So is it 3 minutes now to a bit of a Cinderella story for this fellow who looked so sad when he retired from the ring against Tony McKenzie at Hemel Hempstead, and then suddenly now he's back in this one. Well, we don't want to try and foresee what John Coyle's scoring is going to be, and I've not seen a scandal result yet from John Coyle, so I'm sure he'll get it the right way round. And it is close, but Jim Watt on the last round thinks that McKenzie now is just a short head in front. So could it all be on the last then, with 3 minutes to go in this championship fight? John Coyle reminding them, shake hands. They both ducked at the same time there, and I'm glad that there wasn't any serious head clash. It wasn't an intentional thing at all, it's just the way the styles met. And I think possibly both these fighters know it could depend on the last round. Certainly Christie gives the impression of saying, I'm not going to leave anything to chance if I can help it, or is there a little bit of desperation in that? Now the referee will give the result immediately. The bell goes, because he's totted up after 11 rounds now. He knows exactly where his card stands. And jab, jab, says Duke. And he'll come out of that seat as though it was an ejector seat if his brother wins this championship, and look to get in the ring with him, I'm sure.
See, Christie hasn't been very accurate, but in the last 2 rounds he's really raised the pace so much that it hasn't allowed McKenzie to do much work, to do much counter-punching. So I'm sure that has got him straight back into action again, and I would not be surprised if the fight would be decided on the last round here, because I've had it close all the way through.
Well, I'm glad we've cut from 15 rounds to 12. I'm not sure that Duke McKenzie's throat could stay the distance. There he is. Oh, there it is again. He knows what it's like, of course, when you win a world championship, what it means. And a British championship would mean so much, of course, to Clinton. But Christie's not going to let that go easily. He's got the fighting heart as well. I really wouldn't want to name this one, Jim. It's whichever way Cole goes, I'm going to agree with him the way I feel at the moment.
Yeah, well, I feel the same, Reg, but I feel Christie has not allowed the challenger to work for the last 3 rounds of the fight. If he finishes this round the way he's going now, I feel it's possibly the fight has swung back in the champion's favour, simply because although he has lacked accuracy, he hasn't allowed McKenzie to do any work, any effective work in the last 3 rounds, but he's going to have to keep this pace going to the final bell, and maybe that'll just swing the verdict back in his favour again.
Well, they both stayed the pace exceedingly well, with half a minute to go then to decide the championship. How about that, says Clint McKenzie. There's a look of confidence on his face, but, well, we can't be sure. And a great finish there. One brief knockdown, and he's got it, McKenzie. The new champion. He's regained his title. There's a wee bit of booing, and as I said, Duke McKenzie just flew out of that chair there. There's desperation, of course, on the face there of Lloyd Christie, just walking around the perimeter of the ring. But certainly it was one of the smartest challenges you could have seen there from Clinton McKenzie, and I don't think that they're going to see a presentation of a belt, because Christie has won his outright and the boxing board haven't been able to deliver one for this one. So the seconds there, Colin Smith and Denny Mancini cleaning up the new champion, and there's the brothers posing for the picture. World champion and British champion. Quite a family, the McKenzies, Jim.
Yeah, well, excellent result for the Clinton McKenzie. Very close all the way through.
Scored this tremendous contest. 117 to Christie, 117.5 to the new.
Just a half point, a 1-round win for McKenzie. Exactly as we called it during the commentary, that we thought he was just 1 round ahead, and that is how John Coyle has seen it.
Lloyd, that was a tremendous fight. You lost by 1 round. Maybe looking back, you left it a bit late. In the middle of the fight, you seemed to lose your way a bit.
I would disagree with that, Gary. I thought that I won the fight on sheer volume alone. He was very slippery, but I thought that I'd done enough work to take the verdict.
You weren't as accurate as usual, though.
No, like I say, he made a difficult night's work for me. But I still, although he made a difficult night's work for me, I thought that the fight was still mine.
Very close, Clinton.
Well,
1 round.
Yeah, I had 14 days to get myself in condition, and I think that was a good performance for 14 days.
Well, let's ask your brother, because he made more noise than you probably landed punches at the end of the day.
Because I don't want him to get beat, but Clint, he's always kept himself in good shape, and it was like I said, the fight was it was all on the last couple of rounds, and he just had to dig deep to get the title. Yeah. He was on a winner a year ago. Like, Clint was just at a loose end, you know, nothing was going right for him. And he just said, like, we had a talk, and he just said he's going to get himself back in shape. And he said he was going to win the British title. Told him to forget it, but, like, he's done it.
Well, there's a strong feeling here that if Christie could have won the last round, he would have held on to his title, but he didn't, and it means that the veteran